Hello there, fish to people. Today I will be talking about the filter wall, and I will talk about the pros and cons of this mechanical filter, and then we will also be talking about how to maximize your filter wall. Okay. In the future, I will open an account in either in Lazada or Shopee. I hope you would also support me by buying my products online. And today, okay, I will discuss the pros and cons of using filter wall, and then I will also discuss how to maximize your filter wall. Now I will also be using this as a comparison, but for now let me just put this one aside and put my board on the side. Okay, now first let's talk about the pros. Now, one of the very important thing that I have noticed as I was using a filter wall is that the water is actually crystal clear. I have tried using this with water pump, and at the same time with air filters, air pumps. I have made DIY projects using the air pumps and the water pumps using the filter wall, and both produces a wonderful result. The water was very clear during those times that I was using this, and I have used this with my discus tank, flower horn tank, koi, goldfish, and many more. But as of the moment, I am using the air pumps because I have so many tanks around, so I cannot afford to make a bigger sump for all of this tank. So as of the moment, I am still using air pumps, but in the future, if I would be creating another sump, a bigger one, I would definitely use this one, because again, this helps your water in your tank to clean it like crystal clear, turn it as clear as possible. This one will really help. And also the other pros of using a filter wall is that it effectively traps even the tiniest dirts. And while I was using this one, in fact, I really cannot see even a tiny dirt floating around the tank. That's why I would definitely say that this one is very effective in collecting even the tiniest dirt. So the third one is, it is very easy to identify if it needs cleaning, because basically it's color white. And then, as I have mentioned earlier, it traps even the tiniest dirt. So since it is white, you will be able to see the dirts that are trapped in it. Now, the fourth one is, this here is very easy to clean. Now, if ever you have one and you need to clean this one, you just have to soak it in your aquarium tank, aquarium water. If you are draining your water down at your pail, you can just soak it and then squeeze it a little bit. Okay, do not squeeze as hard like you are washing a cloth, because it will be destroyed quickly. So as much as possible, just squeeze it, okay, and then soak with water, then squeeze it again. That's just how to clean it. It's very easy and convenient. And also another thing is, this one is very cheap. You can actually buy this at we sell this one around in our area for 15 pesos. This one is 15 pesos compared to this one. This pair here, I have bought this one long time ago while I was still working. I bought this for 90 pesos. That's almost $2. This one is just 15 pesos. Very cheap. Now, however, the cons, one of the cons is it breaks down easily. Even though you would as much as possible take good care of this one, you'd be very careful in cleaning this one, this would still break down easily. Another one is because it traps even the tiniest dirts, it clogs easily. So it means that you have to use as many as you can because it clogs easily. Now, how do we maximize this one? How do we use this the best way we can, so that we would be able to maximize the possible its possible functionality. Okay, first is let's compare the two. This one actually, I think this has a very tiny holes in it compared to this one, because I think this has the tiniest holes in. This one has tinier holes than this one has, because this one holds even the tiniest dirts in the water column. This one collects it compared to this one. While I was using this one, I would be able to see the smaller dirts floating continuously around the filter box. Compared to this one, the dirt would actually stay in it or on it as long as it is still not clogged. So how do we maximize using this one? Now, since it has a very small or tiny holes in it, we should always make sure that every square inch of this filter wool, we should make sure that the water pass in every square inch of this filter wall, so that the dirts would be collected more quicker than the usual. Now, what we usually think, because we thought that this one can really help us clean the dirt, so we would cram as many as possible. So the moment that we cram as many as possible, what happened is it's squeezed. Okay, the time it's squeezed, the tiny holes in it are blocked because they are squeezed together, they are crammed together, and so the dirts won't be able to the filter wall won't be able to collect as much as possible, because there are so many parts in it that are crammed and are blocked, so the water cannot pass in every square inch, which means the water will pass wherever it is much easier for it to flow. For example, we would use this for DIYs, and then we would cram as many as possible, and then since the holes at the middle and at the bottom are crammed, okay, the holes are blocked, it won't be able to collect the dirts, which means that the part of the filter wall that would be able to collect the dirts are the upper part, if you would position it this way. Now, since you are only able to use a few parts of the filter wall, it will quickly get clogged, and then the problem is the water will no longer pass through it to be filtered. The water, however, will flow above it, and then if it flowed above it, it will continue to carry the same dirt, and at the same time the old ones that were collected in the filter box. So the time the water drops back again to the tank, the dirts will go back inside the tank, which is not good, because we create filter box to make our tank more cleaner, so it defeats the purpose if that happens. So instead of cramming this together, what we should do is, for example, this is just an example, okay? You can use anything that you wish, but the concept is the same, okay? Now, for example, you are using this one for mechanical filter. I would suggest that you really use this one, because this one is very nice. It really cleans the water column. Now, we should give it some space so that the water would be able to pass through it, and then the filter wall would be able to clean it properly, would be able to clean the water properly. Now, don't cram it by pushing it real hard. Don't cram or squeeze it to give it a chance to do its job, okay? So this is how we give it some space. First is we would imagine this as the first chamber, and then place the filter wall on this side, and then to give it some space, okay, we would use ceramic ring. You could use any biological filter, okay, but since I have a lot of ceramic ring just laying around, I'm using it as an example. And then you could add another one on this side here, and then also use this one on this side here. Now you could actually fill it to the top. You could add more rings, but these are the rings I have laying around, so I'll be using these rings, okay? Now, so what will happen if you give it some space, enough space, is the water will be able to pass through all the possible areas of the filter wall. Then the filter wall will be able to collect dirts. Now, you should not puncture it at the bottom part, because if you create a hole at the bottom part, what will happen is when the water drops in, the water will just run at the bottom, or will flow at the bottom and then drop back to the tank if you're using this as a top filter. Okay, now the water goes in and then it will just run at the bottom. So what we should do instead is we should create the hole at the top part of the box. Why? Because then when the water gets in, the water will have to work itself up back to the top in order for it to exit at the top part of the box. Okay, then if the water will be able to go at the bottom and then back to the top, it means that it will be able to pass through all the parts of the filter wall. Then the filter wall will be able to collect the dirts or any debris or dirt that is floating at your water column. Then just give it maybe an hour, then you will see the result that your the water in your tank will turn to crystal clear. And so I hope that you were able to learn something through this illustration, and happy fish keeping. Please support by subscribing and clicking the bell icon. Thank you and goodbye. Bye for now.